Welcome back, my friends, to an episode of TFT Hyperroll from Mission for Tuition Set 6. This is from the PBE, so everything is subject to change before it releases. And just before we get started on the build, I need to remind you what Mission for Tuition is all about. It's called Mission for Tuition because we're trying to raise money for our son's middle and high school tuition. He needs to go to a special school. It's frightfully expensive. Please feed the algorithm. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Subscribe too if you want to. That helps. And with that said, let's get started. So one of the things I really love about gizmos and gadgets are the augments. I've said that before. I said it on the live stream and I'll say it here again now. These augments allow you to really make a build. For example, here we get Chemtech Overload, which is awesome if you want to do a Chemtech build, or Smoke Bomb, which is awesome if you want to do an assassin build. I decide to pick up Smoke Bomb and think, hey, let's try and force assassins this game. So the Smoke Bomb is going to cause my assassins to go stealth when they drop below 60% health and become untargetable for a short amount of time. That should allow them to survive longer and do more damage. But this set is completely new to me, so I'm trying to figure out the front lines. There are protectors who get a shield whenever they cast their ult. There are bruisers who will give health to the entire team, not just themselves. There are bodyguards who can taunt adjacent enemies, and then finally colossuses, but they take up extra room on your team since a single colossus takes up 2 spots. I roll through my gold and see what the game is trying to tell me, and it's giving me a couple of extra Garens and my 2-star Twitch, so I think at this point I'm going to head in the direction of protectors and assassins and see how that works. You can see the smoke bomb go off there and it keeps Twitch from getting hit for a moment, but that's not quite enough to finish off this 2-star Yowie. I picked up Cassidon, who is a second protector, and as you can see, the shield size scales with the number of protectors that you have on the board. My goal here is also to get as many assassins as possible. You can see how well that smoke bomb pays off as Talon escapes into the shadows for a moment, which allows him to stay alive a little longer, do more damage, and ultimately allow my team to win this round. We grab ourselves a bow from the item shop with the idea of making the Rage Blade on Twitch. Since I now have 2 stars, I'm thinking, hey, might be able to take him to gold again. Only this time it's not going to be in a Chemtech build, it's going to be in an assassin build. As I mentioned in my last video, I find Twitch to be extremely strong in this set, especially for a 1-cost champion. Throw the Gargoyle Stoneplate onto Garen so that he becomes a little bit tankier, as I expect him to become our main tank throughout the entire match. And as you can see, target dummies are back. They are one of the augment choices that you can choose if you so want them. They are very effective in the right builds. We didn't get a choice in this game, so it wasn't an issue, but if you can get them, there are a lot of builds they will work for. Our friend at Riot is keeping an eye on us here and gives us a spatula during the NPC round. But you don't necessarily need it because there are 6 assassins in the game. Our second augment has some interesting choices, and let me pause it so we can go through them. Exiles 2 gives us a 60% shield for 8 seconds, so long as there's no adjacent champions. Celestial Blessing 2 is some healing. Woodland Charm duplicates your highest health character and gives you a doppelganger that will have 1500 health. Now again, I don't claim to be an absolute expert on any of this, but from my position, I felt that Exiles 2 was the best choice because with an assassin build, I can easily space everybody out and it will work out well. That will give each assassin an additional shield and also allow my protectors to be a little more tanky in the front line. From watching this fight, I feel like I made the right choice. The shield allowed my champions to stay up a little bit longer, which enabled Twitch to power up more with that Rage Blade and pick up more attack speed. This Yordle team was starting to spike up as they now had multiple gold Yordles, and this was able to overcome them. We picked up Blitz just before the NPC round, so now we have 3 protectors. This item shop was an interesting choice. The Nico's help would certainly help, but I already have one, so I decide to go with the BF sword. It's also time to fully commit into what we're doing. I tank Garen up more with the Sunfire Cape and decide, you know what? Let's make Assassin Garen. Since it is possible, I'm going to get him to gold as I'm sitting on 2 silvers at this point. I'm also 1 away on Twitch, so decide to add some healing into his build because we're not running Chemtech this time, and without the Chemtech augment, Twitch is not going to have any natural healing built in, so it will be important for something like the Bloodthirster to be on him so that he can stay alive longer. And now you can see the impact of the Protector Shield as Garen is able to stand up a lot longer than you'd otherwise think possible, because every time he ults, he gets his shield up, and that keeps him alive against that Graves.
What we do is right.
Now you may be asking why I haven't used that Nico's help on Twitch to bring him up to gold. I'm winning pretty well right now. With 16 health, I'm not in an emergency, and it's better to just roll and see if we can find one. There he is, our gold Twitch. We want to save the Nico's help until it's absolutely necessary, and it's going to help save the day. Just general hyper roll or TFT advice is that do not use items like Nico's help when you're on a win streak and doing well. Save them for that critical unit that you're going to need at the end. Our third augment left an really interesting choice. There was Knife's Edge or Thrill of the Hunt. I didn't need an additional trait at this point. I decided to go with Knife Edge, which will give my front 2 line characters 50 attack damage. Now, that kind of works the opposite of Exiles because I can't have people adjacent to each other. But I believe that if I can put my critical units in the front, such as Twitch, they will become that much more powerful and get us through the fight much, much quicker. Along those lines, I decide to put an Infinity Edge on Twitch and see what he can do. As you can see, that additional attack damage along with the automatic crit, the healing, and the increased attack speed is making Twitch absolutely dominate other teams. I get the chance to put a 2-star Leona in, which will give me both the Academy and Bodyguard buffs, so it will make the team a little bit tankier and a lot stronger. But at this moment, I'm really counting on Twitch to get in and just decimate things. I have to be honest and tell you that when I picked up Knife's Edge, I kind of thought maybe that was a mistake because I wasn't sure if it would work out with those first 2 rows since I can't put champions next to each other, but for the moment it seems to be working out as Twitch crosses the 10,000 damage mark. We got an Ionic Spark off the NPC, and then the chance to pick up an additional item from the item shop. To me, Hand of Justice is the only way to go because that will work very well on Akali, who we managed to also pick up in the off round. So it's time to make the Ionic Spark and the blue buff for Akali, and then hope we can pick up a better item later for an additional damage item. This person's Yordle build is nearly complete with an incredibly strong Tristana, but Twitch manages to jump right into the backline, and Twitch's ult is a piercing shot, so it goes through lots of champions and takes them all out. Again, that healing, that shield, that critical, that extra damage, it's all working together to just allow Twitch to chew through teams. And with that victory, we are into the top 4. And although the 6th assassin had been eluding us, we're finally able to pick up Katarina and can put her in next round. Now this next team is running a comp called Enforcer. Notice Twitch does not move. Enforcer actually allows an opposing team to lock down a champ, and in this case it was Twitch because he had done the most damage in the previous round, and that enables them to absolutely destroy me. Without Twitch, it falls apart. We go through the NPC round and get one final item shop. With that Enforcer team out there, I do not want one champion to be the only one capable of carrying, so we grab the Giant Slayer to put on Akali and hope to be able to find a second one who's sitting right down there, and then Nico's help her up, which now gives us 2 potential carries. I also get rid of Leona and trade for Yuumi. The reason is that Leona wasn't serving enough of a purpose, and Yuumi can be a very, very powerful healer and stun champ. And in reality right now, my setup is far from optimal. As I'm watching this back, I realize everything is positioned wrong. That Katarina should be swapped with Akali, but I'm fighting between making sure everyone gets the shield and getting my carries into the front row while also trying to complete the build. Luckily for me, it works out okay as Twitch and Akali working together are able to absolutely crush opposing teams. Like I said, having 2 carries is absolutely essential, especially when there's an Enforcer team out there. Now it's time to fix things. We get a 2-star Yuumi and realize the best place for her is not going to be right next to Shaco. So we move Yuumi out of there and then Akali into the front row. And now we run into that team of enforcers and Twitch immediately gets locked down. But Akali is able to take over where Twitch would normally do the work. Akali goes in and just starts slicing across everyone and doing tons of damage until Twitch can get up and take over as well. Between the two of them, they absolutely carry the team. As it was in the last build, Assassins is very, very strong, especially if you get the right items on the right champions. And of course, if you can get a 2-star Akali, she is going to absolutely demolish opposing teams. Twitch, similarly, even though he is just a 1-cost character, is incredibly strong right now. As I always say in these videos, it's subject to change. This is the PBE, but it was GG. Hope you enjoyed the video and have an absolutely awesome day.